Direct and indirect speech. Words of a speaker are reported in two ways. Nirmal said, "I am well," direct speech. Nirmal said that he was well, indirect speech. When we use the actual words of the speaker, we use direct speech. But when we report what he said in our own words, we use indirect speech. Reported speech and reporting verb. In the above sentence, the actual words of the speaker, Nirmal, "I am well," are called reported speech, and the verb said that introduces the reported speech is called the reporting verb. Change of reporting verb. Kind of sentence: direct, indirect. Assertive: says to, say, said to, said. Tells, tell, told, said. Interrogative: said, said to. Asked, inquired, demanded of. Imperative: said, said to. Ordered, told, advised, forbade, requested, begged, asked, etc. Exclamatory: said, said to. Exclaimed with joy, sorrow, cried out, wished, prayed, etc. Note carefully the following points. In direct speech, the reported speech is put within inverted commas. The first word of the reported speech begins with a capital letter. The reported speech is separated by a comma from the reporting verb. In indirect speech, inverted commas are not used, but reported speech is generally introduced by the conjunction that. The comma separating the reporting verb from the reported speech is removed. The tense of the reporting verb is never changed. The question mark and the mark of exclamation are not used. The interrogative, the imperative, and the exclamatory sentences are put as statements. Change of tenses. While changing direct speech to indirect speech, the rules of sequence of tenses are followed. Rule 1. If the reporting verb is in the present or future tense, the tense of the verb in the reported speech is not changed at all, as direct, he says, Shiva kills a giant. Indirect, he says that Shiva kills a giant. Direct, he says, I knew the way home. Indirect, he says that he knew the way home. Direct, he says, I will know the way home. Indirect, he says that he will know the way home. Rule 2. If the reporting verb is in the past tense, the tense of the verb in the reported speech is changed into one or other of the four forms of the past tense, as present indefinite, see or sees, changes into past indefinite, saw. Present continuous, am, is, are seeing, changes into past continuous, was, were seeing. Present perfect, has or have seen, changes into past perfect, had seen. Present perfect continuous, has or have been seeing, changes into present perfect continuous, had been seeing. Past indefinite, saw, changes into past perfect, had seen. Past continuous, was or were seeing, changes into past perfect continuous, had been seeing. Past perfect and past perfect continuous remain unchanged. Will changes into would, shall into should or would, can into could and may into might. Conversion from direct to indirect speech. Direct, he said, I am a cricket coach. Indirect, he said that he was a cricket coach. Direct, I said, Jyoti is going to Shimla. Indirect, I said that Jyoti was going to Shimla. Direct, she said, I did not believe him. Indirect, she said that she had not believed him. Direct, you said to me, I have been to school. Indirect, you told me that you had been to school. Direct, he said to you, I shall go away. Indirect, he told you that he would go away. If the reported speech expresses some universal truth or habitual fact, then the tense of the verb in the reported speech is not changed into the corresponding past, but remains exactly as it is, as direct, he said, God is great. Indirect, he said that God is great, universal truth. Direct, I said, 2 and 2 make 4. Indirect, I said that 2 and 2 make 4. Direct, you said, I practice yoga. Indirect, you said that you practice yoga. Habitual fact. Words expressing nearness in time or place are changed into words expressing distance, as now into then, this into that, here into there, these into those, thus into so, ago into before, today into that day, yesterday into the day before, the previous day, last night into the night before, the previous night, tomorrow into the next day, next week into the following week. Note: the reporting verb is changed into told, asked, ordered, requested, advised, exclaimed, or some other such word according to the form or sense of the sentence. Change of pronouns. Pronouns of the first person are changed into the person of the subject of the reporting verb, as direct, I said, I like to read holy books. Indirect, I said that I liked to read holy books. Direct, she said I am ill today. Indirect, she said that she was ill that day. Pronouns of the second person are changed into the person of the object of the reporting verb, as direct, he said to me, you are a good singer. Indirect, he told me that I was a good singer. Direct, I said to you, you are not a lazy fellow. Indirect, I told you that you were not a lazy fellow. Pronouns of the third person are not changed at all, as direct, he said, she is a rich lady. Indirect, he said that she was a rich lady. Indirect, you said that he was not working then. Direct, I said to her, they are cricket players. Remember, first person changes with the subject, second person changes with the object, third person no change. The nouns or pronouns in the vocative case are turned into objects in the indirect speech, as direct, the doctor said, Rohit, you should take exercise in the morning. Indirect, the doctor told Rohit that he should take exercise in the morning. If this, here, now, etc. refer to some object, place or time that is present to the speaker while making a speech, then no change of adjective or adverb is made in the reported speech, as direct. He said, "This is my house." Indirect. He said that this, the house standing by him, was his house. Direct. She said, "I will go to Amritsar now or never." Indirect. She said that she would go to Amritsar now or never. Sometimes it is not clear as to whether the pronoun he in the reported speech refers to the person speaking or to the person spoken to, as direct. Raju says to Naveen, "I am undone." Indirect. Raju tells Naveen that he, who, is undone. How is this confusion or uncertainty about he to be removed? This can be done by inserting the name of the person intended after he, as shown in the following examples. Direct. Raju says to Naveen, "I am undone." Indirect. Raju tells Naveen that he, Raju, is undone. Direct. Raju says to Naveen, "You are undone." Indirect. Raju tells Naveen that he, Naveen, is undone. Assertive sentences. Assertive sentences in the indirect speech are generally introduced by the conjunction that, as direct. He said to me, "I don't believe you." Indirect. He told me that he didn't believe me. Direct. I said, "I am not going to school today." Indirect. I said that I was not going to school that day. Direct. You said to him, "I told her everything." Indirect. You told him that you had told her everything. Direct. She said, "I saw this circus long ago." Indirect. She said that she had seen that circus long before. Interrogative sentences. In changing a question in indirect speech, remember the following points. The reporting verb is changed into asked, inquired, demanded, or some other verb having a similar meaning. When the question begins with an interrogative pronoun or an interrogative adverb, such as what, who, which, whose, when, where, why, and how, the same word is used to introduce the indirect speech. When the question begins with a helping verb, is, are, do, has, have, will, shall, can, etc., if or whether is used to introduce the indirect speech. The question has yes or no as an answer. The interrogative form is converted into the assertive form. The sign of interrogation, question mark, is removed and the full stop is put there. Conversion from direct to indirect speech. Direct. He said to me, "Where is your book?" Indirect. He asked me where my book was. Direct. I said to him, "What are you doing?" Indirect. I asked him what he was doing. Conversion from direct to indirect speech. Direct. I said to him, "Are you really interested in it?" Indirect. I asked him if he was really interested in it. Direct. He said to her, "Do you feel better today?" Indirect. He asked her if she felt better that day. Imperative sentences. When the reported speech is an imperative sentence, the reporting verb say or tell is changed to some verb expressing a command, advice, or request. In each case, the student should select the right verb best suited to the sense. The verb may be selected from the following: command, order, command, bid, tell. Advice, advise, urge. Request, request, ask, desire. Entreaty, beg, pray, entreat, implore. Prohibition, forbid. Proposal, propose, suggest. The imperative mood is changed into the infinitive mood by placing to before the verb. The rules for the change of pronouns are to be observed. Conversion from direct to indirect speech. Direct. The teacher said to the boys, "Congratulations on your splendid performance." Indirect. The teacher congratulated the boys on their splendid performance. Direct. The principal said to the boys, "Work hard." Indirect. The principal advised the boys to work hard. Exclamations and wishes. When the reported speech is an exclamatory sentence, the reporting verb say or tell is changed to some verb as exclaim or cry out or wish or pray, confess, etc. The students should study the sense in each and every case in order to select the best suited verb. Change the exclamatory form into the assertive form and put a full stop in place of the note of exclamation. Omit all interjections and nominatives of address. Sometimes put them as object of the reporting verb, but the force of interjection should be kept by suitable adverbs or expressive words. Remember, hurrah or ha expresses joy. Alas expresses grief. What or oh expresses surprise. Bravo or hear expresses approval. Hash or hush expresses attention. Pooh expresses contempt.